We would be honored if you would join us.
There has been an awakening. Have you felt it? Julian, we're home.
Hello, this is the Force Talk podcast. We talk all things Star Wars. My name is Trey Mitchell. I'm joined here with my co-host Josh and special guest Caleb. Caleb, what's up?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime. So there's actually a lot of Star Wars news this week, so I'll just let Caleb get right into it.
Okay, so first up, we have a Star Wars Rebels Season 3 cameo rumor. Making Star Wars' Jason Ward is reporting a very interesting Rebels rumor. His report also mentions a rumor concerning a change of appearance for the main character of the series come Season 3 of the show's run. Possible spoilers are ahead. From the Making Star Wars article, quote, I have heard that in Season 3 of Star Wars Rebels we will be introduced to none other than the original Blue Guy himself, Grand Admiral Thrawn from Heir to the Empire. From the sound of things, we're going to see Thrawn as the tactical genius of capital starship warfare he was to expanded universe readers in the 90s. However, this time he will be using his evil brand of genius against the heroes of the Starship Ghost. The future of Star Wars Rebels will feature an Ezra with a short haircut and a lightsaber similar to Obi-Wan/Luke's Jedi's saber, as well as the fiercest Chiss in the Empire. It sounds like the timeline moves a lot closer to A New Hope, and Ezra's design will reflect that.
So,
Trey, what do you have to say about this rumor?
I'm really happy, except it says Season 3. I wish it was Season 2, because Season 2 has kind of sucked so far, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, this is really cool. I'm glad that they're introducing him. I mean, in the Rebels Season 2.5 trailer that they had a few weeks ago, the first line that we hear, I think, is Ahsoka saying, like, there's always a bit of truth to Legends or something, which was a subtle hint. So there's going to be stuff that is in Legends that we're going to introduce in this show. And I think Grand Admiral Thrawn would make sense just because I don't know if Agent Kallus is really intimidating to people. So Agent Kallus is just like the commander of a lot of the starships. So I think that if you introduce Grand Admiral Thrawn and his blue face, he's really going to help advance the story, and he's going to help right some of the wrongs that Expanded Universe fans feel. So Josh, what do you think about this?
Oh, I love this. I think this is great news. Like, I didn't hear about this until like an hour ago, and I was like freaking out when I heard it. I thought that was... I haven't read the Heir to Empire stuff, so I barely know who Thrawn is. Like, I know about him, but not too much. Like, I still really want to read those, but I'm just excited. I think Grand Admiral Thrawn would be amazing to see in Rebels, but I feel like a lot more people would want him to... Like, do you guys think he'll just be a cameo in this and then kind of like further on in like a movie or something? Or
I think he could definitely be in both. Because, I mean, if you look at the timeline, right, Season 3 of Rebels is going to start next... Or wait... actually, never mind. I don't know. It'll be interesting because Season 3 of Rebels will end May of 2017, and then Episode 8 will be December 2017. So, I mean, there are some rumors that Benicio del Toro could be playing Grand Admiral Thrawn, so it would be cool if they kind of introduce him first in Rebels, which would make people want to go watch it, and then you put him in the trailer, right? And then you say that he's in Rebels. That will really gain a lot of viewers, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I think could be cool, like something like that. I mean, I'm not a huge Benicio del Toro fan, so I don't know.
Caleb, have you read the Heir to the Empire books?
I'm not a consumer of the extended universe or expanded universe. I'm sorry, expanded universe Star Wars lore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just really about the live action movies. So I really have no idea who the Grand Admiral Thrawn is. But I do like Benicio del Toro, and I'm excited, for him to be in the next picture. And I know that he's supposed to be a villain.
Yeah.
So, if this guy, I can do some research on this guy and find out, about him.
Well, I can basically just tell you who it is.
Oh.
So Grand Admiral Thrawn is basically, he's a commander of like a starship, and in the Heir to the Empire, he was introduced after Episode 6, and he kind of like brought together all the regional governors of the districts, and he kind of became like the new Tarkin. And he was very calm and calculating. One of the most intimidating things about him, he kind of shared with Vader, right? So Darth Vader, when something would happen, you wouldn't hear him scream or anything like Kylo Ren. You would just hear that breathing, and he would walk away, right? So like when something happens with Thrawn, he doesn't get angry. He like uses it to his strength almost, and he's very tactical, and he's one of the smartest fleet leaders I've ever seen, and he's a very interesting character, and fans really love him. I think the way he looks is a big deal about that. If he was like a Gungan or something, people wouldn't really care. But I think that if you introduce him into Rebels or TV, people are going to really enjoy it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, he does sound like a very cool villain. So.
Yeah, I think he's cool.
Benicio can definitely pull it off. Have you seen Sicario? Any guys?
I did. I like Sicario. Josh hated it, but I like Sicario.
What? I blind bought it and watched it last weekend during the snowstorm here, and it was amazing. And I thought Benicio, he really displayed some of that cold calculating that you just described for Thrawn. So I think that role would, he could play that role really well.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Sicario. I saw screening for it, and I only saw it because of all the how much everyone's raving about it. I'm like, okay, let me give this movie a shot. And so watched it. I still don't know what it's about. I have no idea what happened in the movie, and I think the performances were just terrible in the movie. That's just my personal opinion, but I hated it. It was in my top 10 worst of the year.
Oh,
that's weird.
Well, you liked him in Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Yeah, he's alright in Guardians.
I didn't really like his character, but I thought he did okay.
Great, but he was good.
I mean, I thought he was really good in Sicario. I just didn't love the ending of Sicario, but I thought it was a good movie. Great cinematography.
Oh, yes, yeah, I could say, yeah, I'll definitely say that. Great cinematography.
Yeah, so what's our next story, Caleb?
Star Wars Episode 9 will be shot on film and not digital. Colin Trevorrow was on a panel with a couple other directors at Sundance and had this to say, that he shot Jurassic World on film because, quote, "this can't look like two computers fighting. That's what we kept repeating to ourselves," unquote. Humorously noted that signing on to helm Star Wars Episode 9, quote, "gets back to my issue of shooting digital for period films. I could never shoot Star Wars on anything but film because it's a period film. It happened a long time ago," unquote. Josh, why don't you give us your thoughts on that?
I mean, I like that he what he's saying, but he just needs to stop talking. He's saying way too much. It's not up to his movie yet. I just don't need to hear Colin Trevorrow right now. I'd just rather hear a Ryan Johnson talk. But whatever. I mean, it's cool. That's cool. What's going on?
Caleb, did you like Jurassic World?
I loved Jurassic World. I cried at the end of it.
Really?
I was not a fan of the scope, the way he filmed it with the scope aspect ratio, because I saw it in a movie. I saw it in a theater where it was sort of made for widescreen. They just had refurbished it and everything. It had a wide screen, and so I was kind of I was a bit bothered because it was like watching an IMAX movie, but sort of backwards, where instead of having the black bars on the top of the screen, you had them on the side, and it looked like I was watching 4:3 standard definition TV on an HD screen.
That's weird.
So I don't want, and so he says he's going to use the same stock for Episode 9. He's going to use a combo of 35-65, and I don't want that same experience where it's this is really nitpicky for me. I'm a film guy.
Yeah.
I studied film in college and everything, and I just it would really bother me, it would be a distraction sort of to me. But I agree with him that Star Wars is a period piece, but it's not. I mean, and that was a joke, and for those that don't know, but It is a period piece, but not a period piece in terms of our period piece, where it would be like an old sort of thing. Star Wars, even though, yes, it says it takes place a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, that's not our long time ago. That's their long time ago. They're in our future. They're way far ahead in our future. So I think Star Wars can be shot. I believe JJ shot on film as well.
I think he mixed. I don't know.
I think
I don't know. I'm not.
It
Really
might have
sure.
been a combination of.
Yeah,
Because I know he did shoot with
mixed.
IMAX film,
Yeah.
but I think Star Wars, they can shoot digital and still get the same sort of grain and quality of film. But I just have to wait to see what Trevorrow. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the choice of Trevorrow. I like Jurassic World, but I just haven't seen enough from him. I did not like his first film, Safety Not Guaranteed. I have to see this movie that he was talking about, The Book of Henry. I just think he's a bit green for Star Wars. We'll see. We'll have to see. And I do agree, Josh, that we should be hearing from Ryan Johnson now instead of Trevor. But Trevor didn't say that much. He was just making a joke about it. But that's my thoughts on the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather have Colin Trevorrow than Josh Trank.
Yes.
I mean, I agree too. Yeah.
But I wasn't a big fan of Jurassic World. I know people are kind of torn on it. I didn't hate it. I just didn't. I didn't think it was a film that critically should have made that much money. But it was a fun action film. I just didn't think there was a lot there. I'm more excited for the sequels because I'm kind of tired of the whole Jurassic or the whole the park's been overtaken. I'm like, yeah, I know, I've seen it. So I'm kind of want more of a Planet of the Apes vibe where the dinosaurs are more taken over, and then we're kind of the modern day dinosaurs. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing with the money is it was it's Jurassic Park. There's a whole nostalgia factor to it, which is what kind of brought me to tears at the end there.
Yeah.
But I do agree that I'm kind of getting tired of the whole because it's like they don't learn.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's the whole point of it is that human beings. I'm not going to get into that. That's a whole other discussion. But I'm excited for the sequel. I just hope we get something different this time, truly different than, oh God, we fucked up again. The dinosaurs are eating people in the park.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, that kind of relates to people's gripes about The Force Awakens with there being sort of a third Death Star, and like it worked in the essence of the film, but people just still didn't really want it. So, the sequel to Jurassic World and Star Wars Episode 8 are kind of in the same boat, just because fans want to see something different. Because the first one kind of was just a great. Star Wars Episode 7 was a great film, but it did hit on a lot of the beats that Episode 4 didn't. I don't think that's a negative, but some people do. So I think a lot of people are excited for both sequels because they're excited to see a different take on the franchise.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what do we have next?
We've got the first details on Forrest Whitaker's character in Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. This comes from Making Star Wars. So it appears that his character will have one leg and uses a cane as a crutch to walk. Earlier reports made it seem like he might have one leg, but the clarification on the topic is quote-unquote a robot leg. He appears to be a veteran of some battles, but it isn't clear if he lost his leg fighting in the Clone Wars or against the Empire. Based on a differentiated code name from the rest of the rebels in the movie, it appears he is likely good, but maybe a bounty hunter affiliated type. And finally, he has a cape, and his costume is a hodgepodge of different things. Think of someone you might see at Maz's castle. That sounds interesting to me.
Yeah.
The whole concept of Rogue One, just being a story of, this group of people stealing the plans for the Death Star. I mean, I just don't know what to expect from this.
I think
it's something we've never seen before, and this character, Forrest Whitaker's a great actor and all, and I'm just I don't know. It's like
Yeah.
it sounds good. I mean, I don't know what else. It
Yeah.
sounds sounds okay. I don't have any problem with it. I just don't. I haven't looked that much into Rogue One outside of like looking for confirmation that Darth Vader's in the movie.
Yeah.
But I'm sure this sounds okay for. I'd like to know his character's name. I think
That's what I want to know.
I'm just from what I heard. I think this is confirmation that he is indeed Snoke. Just kidding.
I'm sorry. What?
That he is indeed Snoke. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
yeah, no, that would be stupid. But Forrest Whitaker is a really good actor. He was my favorite part of Southpaw, which I didn't like, but I thought he was great in it. I think that he'll probably be a general sort, kind of a guy that's been wounded from the Clone Wars and has seen a lot of stuff, and that he's kind of damaged, but he still has a lot that he can help to the start of the rebellion. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I think he probably is, besides crap, I forgot his name. Who's the guy who plays Hannibal?
Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, besides Mads Mikkelsen, I think that he's probably one of the biggest actors in the movie. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited. Josh, what do you think about this?
I mean, it's cool. Like, I like when he says like the whole Clone Wars thing. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I think that's interesting. That's what I want to see. Like, I want to see these characters that are like survivors of the Clone Wars. Like more kind of like that. Because what was the war? We barely saw the war in like anything. Like, it didn't feel like a war. It just felt like what they were doing throughout time. Like, just kind of like versing the Separatists. It didn't feel like a war, like in general. But yeah, I mean, I like it. I like the report. But I'm not really interested in anyone that's not like Vader, like you said, Caleb. It's really more not really searching for anything. I just kind of want to see a trailer and watch the movie.
I think
I
it's
don't want to know
also
what.
I think it's also interesting that it says he has a cape, because that seems kind of out of place. Like, I think bounty hunters mainly have capes, so maybe he could be a bounty hunter.
Well, Lando had a cape.
Yeah. So maybe you're just making most of the black guys have capes. That would be weird.
Maybe
I
he'll
like
be Lando.
capes.
Edna
Maybe
Mode
he'll be
doesn't.
Lando.
What, Josh?
Maybe he'll be Lando. I don't know.
No. That'd be
Throw it out
terrible.
there.
That'd be terrible. That'd be reverse aging.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, what do we have next, Caleb?
Some bad news for Star Wars Episode 8. It could face additional delays due to a lighting technician strike in the UK. There are several films being produced in the United Kingdom right now, and they're facing the possibility of production halts this upcoming Saturday because of the lighting technician strike. If a deal cannot be reached by the weekend, lighting technicians will not return to work, and the production on big Hollywood films such as Star Wars Episode 8 and Warner Brothers' Wonder Woman will be halted. The technicians have not received a raise in 4 years and want a 20% raise. Josh, this does not sound good.
Give them the raise. Give them the raise. I don't know. I don't really know what the situation's going on, but if this is going to halt production on Wonder Woman and Star Wars Episode 8, give them the raise.
I will cry if that happens.
Me too.
And honestly, why do you only have to use those lighting technicians? Disney can afford more from just fly in some ones from the United States or something, you know?
Well, it's all about the tax breaks and everything. And the UK isn't a big country.
Mm-hmm.
So it's these are the only people there, and sure they could fly in more, but I think they would have to. I'm not too familiar with the tax breaks and everything, but I'm pretty sure that to qualify for that they would have to use the crews that are already there in the UK. But I don't think this has anything to do with the studios. This has to do with their unions, and that's got to be worked out between the union and the technicians. But Star Wars hasn't started filming yet, have they?
No, they start in February.
Okay, so yeah.
Daisy Ridley did post a picture of her looking at the script though, so there's that.
And Anthony Daniels did tease out that he was going to post story details, but
Okay.
I think that was just that was a joke, obviously.
Yeah,
I wonder if he actually did. Would they fire him if he actually did?
Well,
that?
he'd lose all his money probably just because of the contracts you have to sign to be in there.
That's true.
I
And
guarantee there's something in his contract where it says you still have to be in our movie, but we could take away a certain amount of money or whatever, because you can't just not have C-3PO in the movie. Like,
just make them all red.
let's see off.
And
C-3PO.
today on John Boyega's Snapchat story of all things, he said he's been working out a lot for his role as Finn. So maybe he'll be more bulked up and maybe have some kind of robotics spine or something weird because
Or
Kylo hit him pretty
he's
bad.
Force sensitive, and he's going to become a Jedi.
Maybe. Do you think he's gonna be a Jedi?
I hope not.
I think so.
Do you?
It'd be cool. I mean, you need more than one. Like Rey is like only one person. I mean, I know Luke like took down the Empire, like he was a one man thing, but he had like Obi-Wan's help and shit. But and of course he had his friends help him. Han and Leia and Chewbacca and all this stuff. But to take on Kylo Ren, and I know Luke is like he's a Jedi too, but I think you need more than like Rey.
I think.
Not saying that she's not like a strong character or anything, but I mean you need more than one Jedi.
Okay, yeah.
More than two Jedi.
I have two things to say about that. One, if there's, I think Poe has a better chance of being force sensitive, just because in the Shattered Empire comic there was like he lived like around a force tree, whatever the hell a force tree is, and he's kind of an insanely good pilot. That's almost too good of a pilot,
Are we ever gonna find out what the force tree is?
I hope not, because that makes it sound stupid.
I think that's just so stupid.
It's a tree where the Force grows on it.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know. That's a joke.
Yeah, I know. They like Luke gave a force tree to Poe's mom, and they planted it where they lived in the Shattered Empire comic. So, whatever that means. But the second thing, I remember hearing rumors that Jacob Tremblay, the kid who was the boy in the movie The Room, was rumored to play a Jedi in Star Wars Episode 9.
I think that was just a joke.
Really?
I think he might have said something because I remember somebody saying at one of the awards shows, it's like Jacob Tremblay, give him whatever he wants, put him in a Star Wars movie or something. It was like a joke. He might have said something during an interview, like after winning an award. I think it was at the Screenwriters Guild or something. I don't remember. I just know it was a couple weeks ago, or maybe back in December at some award show. That news started going around.
What I heard was from like October. It was like a while
October.
back, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he was. I thought he probably should have been nominated. Honestly, probably should have been nominated for Best Actor and for Room. He was phenomenal in that.
I haven't seen that. I've got to see it.
It was really, really good. I wouldn't say it's as we're kind of not making this Star Wars podcast, but I don't think it was as good as Spotlight. But it was. I mean, it didn't have any action whatsoever, which was completely fine. But it still had me like literally on the edge of my seat, like trying to breathe. But like I can't. It really makes you emotionally invested, and you basically know the story going into it. But that doesn't matter. I didn't even see a trailer going into it, so that was good. But
Spotlight's another one that I thought was overrated.
What?
I thought Spotlight was overrated too.
Josh just hates everything.
And Revenant, that's another Revenant was a good movie.
Josh is the John Campy of this panel.
And I'm fine with that. I like Campia.
He's a hack.
I like Campia. So, yeah.
Okay, what's our next piece? Or if you want to say something.
Well, next up, off the news of the technician strike, we have some confirmation. Well, I don't know if it's exactly confirmation, but a Star Wars Episode 8 is going to film in Dubrovnik, Croatia.
Hard word.
Sorry?
That's a hard word to say. You did a good job.
Yeah. This comes from the Dubrovnik Times. I'm probably still not even saying it right. The Force is indeed coming to Dubrovnik. Rumors were flying around yesterday that the 8th episode of Star Wars was planned to be partly recorded in Dubrovnik. And now the Dubrovnik Times can confirm that the rumors are actually true. Okay, so yeah, it is true. Cool.
It's true, all of it.
Yes, it is. And the Dubrovnik Times has learned from more than one reliable source that the rumors are true. Star Wars will indeed be filmed in Dubrovnik this year. The city of Dubrovnik and the mayor of Dubrovnik met with the film producers at the end of 2015, and according to our source, the city can look forward to being the host of yet another major film production. Trey, that went around, said the same thing a lot of times. But what do you think?
From that picture that we put in right there, it looks a little bit like Maz's castle. Just kind of like I think it could still be on Takodana. This could just be another part of it. But I think it would be cool if we saw like a city sort of, but not like a Coruscant, but kind of just like a lot of shops and stuff that they're walking through. Sort of something that we'd see in Europe here on Earth. But I mean, yeah, I want them to introduce more and more planets and scenes. I don't want to keep going. I don't want to go back to Hoth. I don't want to go back to Tatooine, Endor. I kind of want to go back to Bespin, but that's about it. But it's such a big universe. I want them to put in as many new places as they can. So I think this is cool. It's just very weird, very hard word to say, Dubrovnik.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, what do you think?
I mean, I want them to go back to old plans, but I like this. Like, it looks like a cool place. I don't really know what it could be, but it looks like a place, like just like a shop market, like a regular market.
A bazaar, sort of.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it looks cool. I mean, it's on the water, so that makes me think that maybe it's still Takodana, but that's just mild speculation on my part.
Yeah.
This, I know, I do believe Game of Thrones shoots in a part of Croatia. It's a very beautiful country. But just looking at this wall here in the rock formation, I think I remember reading that they were having issues with weather or something on Skellig Michael.
Yeah.
And I know that they said that they're going to try to like recreate that on an indoor set, but maybe they decided that they should find another like outdoor location. So this sort of looks like, it could host maybe like a secluded island. I mean, they could even like recreate that in like CGI and then put it like somewhere here. But this looks like it could be like a city, just because that's like just an island on that one planet.
Yeah.
There could be like another part of it that we haven't, of course we haven't seen it yet, but this could be like a city there, and maybe Rey and Luke like go there and like
it's like a trading port sort of.
Yeah. Or like it could be like a fortress of sorts or something. I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
We'll just have to see it. It's a very beautiful picture, very beautiful image. So.
And what you said.
Sorry.
I knew that place looked familiar. Game of Thrones. It looks like a Game of
Yeah.
Thrones. It looks like the same scene from the end of season 5.
And what you said about Skellig Michael Island shoot, Caleb, they actually went and they shot the islands around it for that issue. Yeah. So. They kind of just, it didn't really matter. They kind of just, because that one particular island is very sanctioned, but the islands around it, not as much. So they kind of tried to recreate some of that stuff in a studio, and some of it they actually went and shot different places. But they tried to do as much as Skellig Michael Island as they could. But yeah, like you said, it's a hard place to shoot. Dangerous too. Those steps did not have a rail. That would be scary for me to walk up.
Yeah, I would never walk up. Well, actually, I would, but I would be kind of nervous.
Oh, yeah, I'd do it in a second. I would love to go to Skellig Michael Island. That would be amazing. The Force is with that island.
Yeah.
So, what's our next piece of our next story, Caleb?
Harrison Ford is going to preview Star Wars Land on a Disney TV special. This news comes from Entertainment Weekly. Harrison Ford will be unveiling some of the plans for upcoming Star Wars attractions at Disneyland and Walt Disney World in a television special set to air on February 21st. Fans who attended Disney's D23 Fan Expo last August got a sneak preview of the 14-acre Star Wars editions planned for the parks in Anaheim, California, and Orlando, Florida. Among the attractions will be a cantina like the one seen in 1977's original Star Wars, with familiar creatures from various parts of the series. It will also include a ride that allows guests to take the controls of Han Solo's starship freighter, the Millennium Falcon, as it swoops into the center of an aerial battle between the First Order and the Resistance, the new film's version of the Empire and the Rebellion. Wow. I'm going to watch this special. I mean, it's kind of strange for Harrison Ford to do something like this.
Yeah, I thought that too.
And it's kind of strange for them to like preview their parks on television. I'm assuming this will air on ABC.
Yeah, it's on ABC.
That's just I'm just more used to like getting like the travel planner tape or DVD in the mail, and then seeing like stuff like that on that. But the Star Wars land editions are intriguing to me, and so it'll be cool to see what they have planned. This Millennium Falcon ride sounds really, really cool.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know when I'll be able to go to Disney next. The last time I was there was in 2010, and just with these editions, I know the prices are going to like jump up again for admission. Yeah. So, when I get there, it'll be cool to experience this new section of the park.
I think the coolest part about this story is that Harrison Ford's going to do it. I cannot imagine Harrison Ford hosting a TV special, because the last TV special he was in, I feel like regarding Star Wars, was the holiday special. He doesn't like that. So I don't know. I don't even really care so much about the parks as I do seeing Harrison Ford talk about Star Wars again. That will be cool, because who knows if he's ever gonna do anything like this again. I do think he's gonna be in Episode 8 though, not being alive though. But I think we'll see. I know Star Wars doesn't use flashbacks much, but I think he could be in Episode 8 in flashbacks.
All right.
Josh, what do you think about this?
Oh, I think this is great. I can't wait to see, like, especially for me, like, I live in Florida, so I'm so excited. And then I know, Trey, you said you're going to college in Florida or LA, I think, or
San Diego. Yeah.
So you're going to have a Disney Bayou too.
I know. I realized that too.
So, like, it's just such great news. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this special, just to see what they're gonna do. Like, we kind of know what they're gonna do, but I want to know for sure, like, see, like, with my own eyes what they're doing. And I just can't wait. And Harrison Ford come back, that's great. Love it.
All we've seen is a few like concept art pictures. I wonder if they're gonna have more developed stages of that. So
they'll probably have a diorama or something.
Yeah.
It'd be like the old Walt Disney films where he's like, this is what I'm building, and here to look at it. I've got a little miniature park built in this little Legos table here. It could be built out of Legos. That'd be like ambitious.
How cool would it be if during the special, so they mentioned the Millennium Falcon, right? How cool would it be in the special if we see Harrison Ford go sit in a cockpit of the Millennium Falcon?
One last time.
Yeah. Wow. He's like, we're home. I'm like, oh, my heart. It'd be beautiful.
Oh.
That'd be cool.
And then maybe like Chewie just shows up, and then he's like, and then Chewie's like, how did you come, or why did you come without me, or something. I don't know. I'm just gonna miss Han and Chewie, honestly. But yeah, that's the way the world works. So Caleb, what's our next story?
We've got some Rogue One costumes on display at the Nuremberg Toy Fair. Looks like there's maybe 4 costumes there.
Yeah, there's 4.
One is definitely the Felicity Jones character.
We have
another one looks like Harrison Ford's Han Solo, Hoth, and Starkiller base get up.
That one is Diego Luna's costume, and then the one to the right of the girl is Donnie Yen's costume.
Okay, and this looks like 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 a sort of like a robe of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I think Donnie Yen's character is going to have the Force. I think I've heard that somewhere, but not be a Jedi.
Oh, and then there's one guy here who looks like he's wearing like an old fighter pilot jumpsuit. He's got like a big gun.
Yeah, there's this one bounty hunter. I'm trying to find a picture of that. I think looks exactly like that. But yeah, what did you guys think of these pictures?
They look cool.
Yeah, they look cool. They're definitely. I mean, aside from you said Diego Luna's character and this, you said the one guy with the bounty hunter. He might be a bounty hunter. Like that, the other two are something that we haven't seen really in Star Wars before. So it just makes it seem like it's going to be a really unique film, and really different, and that excites me a lot.
I actually don't think that's the character I thought it was. It could.
Oh.
I mean, it looks like a bounty hunter though. Just the way it doesn't look like it's a rebellion. I don't know. It strikes as bounty hunter to me. Plus, it has that gun. Looks really cool. Josh, what do you think of these?
They're good. Like, I mean, I just don't care about seeing the costume. Like, I like them, but
I like Donnie Yen's the most, personally. The one on the far right.
Yeah, I mean, I like what they look like. It's just I don't really care about costumes.
The one on the far left looks so much like Han Solo's on Hoth though. Like maybe the exact same outfit almost.
It is.
He dropped
cool.
his coat, so actually, no, never mind, because this takes place before that. Never mind.
Yeah.
Well, but Chewie did give him back his coat.
Yeah, Chewie kept giving him, and then he looked at him weird. Every time I see the movie, that makes me curious. I don't know why. But yeah, I mean, these are cool. I need to see a trailer or a teaser or something for this movie, and the teaser has to be awesome, because if not, people aren't gonna really care. They just want to see episode 8. So, Josh and I talked about this last show, but I think Darth Vader is going to be he's going to be included heavily in the marketing of Rogue One. I just think that's a must-have if you want to get people to spend as much money as they can on this movie, because otherwise they're not going to know what it is, and then Darth Vader's in it. Yeah, I'll go see that just because he's in it.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on these costumes?
No, not really.
No.
Okay. So what's our next story?
J.J. Abrams is revealed to be singing the Cantina song in the Maz's castle scene in The Force Awakens. Lin-Manuel Miranda, he's of Hamilton fame, the musical Hamilton, based on the life of Alexander Hamilton. He was talking to ET Online during Broadway Con in New York City, and he revealed that not only did he co-write the song with Abrams, but Abrams also sang the song with him. So what are your thoughts on that, Josh?
It's so funny, because, like, that Cantina song, like, every time I hear it, like, it's just stuck in my head. Like, I know this song by heart. Like, at least the first lyrics of it. Like, I just know it. Like right when we were just, like, you started mentioning it, I'm just, like, singing it in my head. It's so catchy. I'm surprised that's JJ. But that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, I heard this a few weeks ago that he sang a part of it. That Cantina song is really cool. It sounds like it's more of a reggae feel. I'm glad it wasn't exactly like the Cantina scene in episode 4, and it wasn't like that horrid song in Jabba's palace. That's, oh my gosh, I hate that song. But yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's cool that J.J. Abrams has his own part in the movie, not just making it too.
Yeah, I actually knew that JJ and Miranda sang together, and I'm not sure if you guys know, but Abrams he does do a little bit of composing. If you're familiar with the show Fringe, he wrote the theme song for that, So I wasn't really, surprised when I learned that he wouldn't only be writing but also singing on it. I tried to like identify his voice,
Yeah, I did
but I
that
couldn't
too.
really make it out. I heard Lin Manuel's voice over JJ's, but big fan of both of them, so it's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory here. There's not much else to say. So I think this is our last news story. Um,
Okay.
what is it? Let's see.
Well, there could be a change in direction for the third Star Wars anthology film. This comes from Newsbeat. There are 5 Star Wars films, 4 more with Episode 7, The Force Awakens, that are in varying stages of development and production. That was a quote from Disney's chairman, Bob Iger. There will be more after that. I don't know how many. I don't know how often. You know, I was wondered, about after this new trilogy. And I know everyone's trying to do the whole cinematic universe thing. Disney already has, that going on with Marvel, and of course they've got it now going on with Star Wars. So I don't think they should just keep churning out Star Wars movies, because after a while it's going to become stale and cheap, almost in the direction of what Marvel's doing now, where it's become very formulaic, and you can almost just guess the story beats going in, and and people are going to start to resent, the films. Are not going to want to see them anymore if they just come out on an assembly line like that. At a certain point, you have to stop. I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of Star Wars stuff out there in the expanded universe, but at a certain point, you just can't keep going. So I think after this, maybe one more trilogy with the new cast on their own, really on their own. I think that is when they should stop, and then they could do some anthology films. I wouldn't be opposed to some anthology films every now and then, but the main saga, you can't go on forever with that, really.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you could, but they just wouldn't. I don't think they would be good. I mean, sure, you'll have like more and more talent coming, new generations, everything like that. But I just think after a while, people aren't going to go see these movies anymore.
Do you want to know what I think is gonna happen?
Yes. What do you think is going to
So
happen?
we're gonna get episodes 7, 8, 9, right? There's not gonna be that third anthology film. There's not gonna be any Boba Fett film, right? They're completely erasing that, in my opinion. So they're ending with 9, right? And then they're gonna go either the old Republic trilogy route or Obi-Wan Kenobi trilogy route, because I think that's a way that you can still have a trilogy that people want to see, that isn't episodes 9, 10, and 11, or episodes 10, 11, 12. So you go 7, 8, 9, 3 anthologies, then you keep going into your 10, 11, 12. Because I just think that they're going to try to keep doing the Star Wars every year thing, which I'm totally on board with, but they need to change what kind of movies come out every year. Does that make
Yeah.
any sense? So maybe
Yeah.
even do not 3 straight, not a, and sorry, not do like a Obi-Wan Kenobi every year for 3 years. Maybe you do Obi-Wan Kenobi's your new trilogy, and then you have more anthologies in between that. So that way you still have a trilogy going on, but it's not 10, 11, 12. I don't know if that's. I just don't. I think there's going to be a gap in between this trilogy and the next, but I think they're going to go the route of the anthology trilogy. Josh, do you have any opinions on that?
Not really to add. You guys kind of covered it, but I mean, I want Star Wars to go on forever. I think that would be awesome, like see more Star Wars movies. But more like Caleb said, I think Marvel is doing the same thing, but at this point we could guess what's going on with Marvel. Like I could go into a Marvel movie and I will guess almost everything that happens in the movie, and it happens. So I think what they're doing right now is pretty good. One movie a year. I don't want 2 movies a year, because when you have 2 movies a year, I feel like it's gonna just kind of be too much. But 1 movie a year should work for a while. I think. I think it's good. I mean, I love the anthology ideas. But like you said, Trey, they should do trilogies, like an Obi-Wan trilogy, like that.
Or like an Old Republic, even.
Like after the original trilogy ends, Old Republic trilogy, Obi-Wan trilogy, stuff like that. Darth Bane trilogy.
Oh my!
Please,
I would die.
please,
I would die.
Lucasfilm, if you are listening to this, please make a Darth Bane trilogy. That would be phenomenal.
I don't know how you can make that PG-13 though.
I know
that would be a good HBO series. That would be a good HBO series.
Caleb, have you read Darth Bane?
I have not.
Darth Bane isn't canon, but it's the one series of books. The characters, the stories aren't. That's the one character series that I would recommend, even though it's not canon. It's so freaking good. But you can also just look up what happens. But the difference between Star Wars and Marvel, in my opinion, is that Marvel is a very, the story is very, it builds off the other. Where Star Wars has hundreds of thousands of years that they can cover. Marvel can't. So Star Wars can go thousands of years back in the past to the Old Republic. They can go, say, 30 years before Phantom Menace. They have so much time that they can make movies about, where Marvel is just, okay, this movie is going to happen, and then this next movie is going to build off that. Where they can't go, say, 1,000 years before and have Ant-Man, the dawn of the Renaissance or something like that. That'd be weird. But Star Wars could do something like that. So I think that's why Star Wars can make more films in more time and not have them feel like they're the same story refreshed. And I do love the Marvel films, but I understand they're kind of being formulated, and that there's not a lot of creative ways that some of them can go because they have to tell a bigger story.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Marvel stuff right now.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on that, Caleb? Caleb?
Sorry, my mom dialed my phone.
It's okay. Any other thoughts on this?
Nope. Really covered mine.
Okay. And I was wrong. This wasn't the last story.
I think we have two more.
Bad. Yeah. So what's our next story?
We've got new details for Rogue One from Joe Blow. Rumors began swirling about stormtroopers in all-black costumes appearing in the film late last year, and Joe Blow confirms that they will be in the movie. Their sources indicated that these all-black troopers are referred to as Death Troopers, although there's no mention if the commonly referenced quote-unquote Shadow Trooper from the Legacy universe would be used. Also recall that Donnie Yen shared an image of some helmets a while back, including a black one. Then one of the prominent characters in the film is a droid that works with the rebels, specifically Felicity Jones's group. I'm sorry, hold on.
It's okay.
Hello?
Yeah, I'll just keep reading. So, specifically Felicity Jones's group, that is said to be a, quote, scene stealer in the film. It was originally an Empire droid that has been refurbished to serve the Rebel Alliance. He's two-legged in a dark gray-black in color. In terms of appearance, the droid has long arms and legs, and is very different than a typical protocol droid like C-3PO. Could this be the co-map character that Alan Tudyk is playing? Time will tell. Also, so far we don't have confirmation on any other character names, but we can add this to the puzzle. Cashin is the name of one of the key players, although which we can't say. Which character we can't say. It could be spelled differently as well. In the whole Star Wars way, it could be spelled with a K, an S, a Y, anything. So there will also be a new TIE Fighter design, and AT-ATs will be featured in the film. Lastly, addressing those Darth Vader rumors, we, JoeBillo.com, can confirm that Darth Vader will be in the film and is expected to have a larger role than originally thought. How big or involved we can't specifically say, but expect to see the return of one of the most infamous characters on the big screen. So a lot to kind of go through here. JoeBillo.com we thank for that information. So let's just start off the top. Shadow Troopers are not called Death Troopers. Cool, I don't really care that much. It would be cool to see them considering they're in Battlefront and they always kill me. But the next thing is those helmets that Donnie Yen tweeted, which we see the original stormtrooper helmet, and then to the left we see and more of a Ralph McQuarrie stormtrooper design. To the right we see sort of a scout trooper original design or something like that. Yeah, and then Felicity Jones' character has a droid that's a scene stealer. That could be Alan Tudyk's character. Josh, do you think this character could be similar to the droids that we see Dr. What's her name in the Darth Vader comic have?
I think that would be awesome. That'd be so cool.
I wonder what... Sorry, go ahead.
If they showed up, like, I love those, like, 000 and whatever the other ones, I love them.
Only thing about that is it says that they're refurbished from the Empire, and this is before New Hope, and those stories take place after New Hope. But
yeah, I mean, I like this stuff. Like, finding out all this is cool. Like, cool information. I like it. But I don't know. It's just like Shadow Troopers are pretty cool. It's just I don't really want to know that much about Rogue One. I know we are, but like I don't know. I just feel like I don't care as much about Rogue One.
Yeah.
Like I'm still very excited for the movie.
Well,
but
we need to see a teaser.
Yeah, like
we already know the outcome, so that's part of it. But we need to see a
at
teaser.
this point, I'm just not. I just don't care right now.
And going back to that droid that Alec Tudyk is rumored to play, I hope something similar to, not in design, but kind of what the effect that it had on the movie. The droid in Interstellar, right? That was...
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, that was a cool droid, or cool robot, even though it was very weird design. But I think something like that could work. Caleb, I know there's a lot of information to look through, but what are your takeaways from all this?
Darth Vader.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. No, not to say the other stuff isn't interesting. Like the Alan Tudyk rumor, that's piqued my interest. I like him a lot. The stormtroopers, whatever. I could care less about that was a Death Trooper. I mean,
I think
it's all black. But really, the Darth Vader thing, some about him, being in the movie finally, confirming that he's in the movie, and then the whole thing about him being,
he's gonna be badass,
much more brutal, and we'll see. It's like they're trying to turn him into Jason Voorhees in a way. I know they said something about trying to come up with inventive ways for him to kill rebels, and that's sort of what they do with Jason Voorhees. Is they look at different ways for him to kill camp counselors.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool to see him actually doing some actual like badass shit, like throwing his lightsaber or like lifting up, force choking, instead of like, just grabbing someone by the neck, actually like holding them out with the force and like crushing their windpipe. That'd be fun. Yeah. That'd be a lot of fun to see.
And I know you haven't seen or read these two things, but Lords of the Sith, the novel by Paul S. Kemp, I think. Vader, we see kind of the Vader in that we wanted to see in the prequels. Sort of, there's a little Anakin mix in there just because of his thoughts. Some of his thoughts, and his thoughts are, he's still Anakin. But you see how just much of a badass he is, and that he can use the dark side to just make him fast and everything. And in Star Wars Rebels Season 2, my favorite episode so far has been the very first one. Vader was heavily prominent in it, and he just beat Kanan and Ezra down until like they almost just died. Like it wasn't even close. And I'm really excited to see Vader in this. Just imagine if like these rebels, right, are just in a battle and it looks like they've won, and then suddenly you just hear, and then he's like, so these are the rebels I've been hearing about, and then he just goes badass and kills them all. Not the main characters, but some of the rebels. That would be a great way to use him. And just make it kind of feel like you're watching us play Battlefront, because he's fun. But yeah, now I can officially say this is our last news segment. A lot of news this week. Caleb, doing a read or me read?
Yep.
I don't care.
Disney is looking for new broadcast TV deals for the Star Wars films. Variety reports that Star Wars is being pitched to prospective new homes at a record price tag of $30 million per movie for the new sequel trilogy. Exact prices for the original and prequel trilogy are unknown at this time, but Variety speculates it will also be very high, with exact numbers dependent on the length of the deal. Variety also goes on to speculate on a few other factors and possibilities. First being the possibility that the Starz pay cable deal for the initial run of the new films and Netflix streaming rates could cause reluctance among the non-pay cable networks to go to such high costs for a film that will have significant availability elsewhere. It makes sense that Starz would get the rights to the Star Wars movies, considering that they show all of Disney's movies now anyway. I think FX or Spike would be the next channels to get the rights to those. I know Spike does like Star Wars marathons all the time, but this would be like 5 years from now, where Star Wars would
2018
debut.
is when I think they're with Encore. No, I don't know who they're with now, but that's when that ends.
Oh, okay. So they might re-up, or who knows? But I can just see The Force Awakens playing on one of those channels, 5 years from now, on the broadcast TV premiere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Netflix, Amazon Prime,
Netflix. I'm sorry. And Netflix is getting. Canadian Netflix, is getting exclusive rights for episode 7.
I know, that sucks.
This year.
Cool for them,
So.
but
Yeah, I wish we got the episode 7 for Netflix, because then you can watch it whenever you want. But
we'll still have it on every single platform, though.
We'll all have the Blu-ray, so I don't really care.
I'll probably buy it digitally too, just for the hell of it.
Well, when you buy the Blu-ray, you get a free
I
digital
forgot
copy.
about that. Yeah, good point. But I think Netflix is ultimately where it's going to be, because if you put Star Wars on Netflix, like, people, the few amount of people that don't have Netflix are going to get Netflix. It, like, even Hulu or Amazon, whoever gets it for the $30 million or whatever it's being rumored will make probably, I'm just throwing this out there, probably $100 million at least in revenue just from these films. So whoever gets these films it's really gonna help their stock,
Yeah.
I don't see it going on network, anything like, I don't see it being on ABC or anything.
Yeah, I can't see that either.
I don't want any Star Wars thing to ever be on ABC, because that makes it very limited to what they can do. But yeah, so that's pretty much all the Star Wars news. A lot of stuff this week. A lot of Rogue One this week. But now we're going to shift into our canon segment. So what is canon? Canon is anything that affects the Star Wars universe, and is basically the history of Star Wars. It's things that officially happened in the Star Wars universe. And this week, Star Wars issue 15 came out. So Josh, what did you think of this issue?
Star Wars 15 I really liked it. I really liked seeing Obi-Wan. That's what I want to see, these more Obi-Wan stories. I really liked it. I really liked it a lot. I want to see some more of them. Like, I kind of want him to get his own series, but I don't want him to get his own series.
I don't want it.
Yeah,
because I just think if he gets his own stories, if he gets his own comic, then those could possibly take stories that could be in films,
Yeah.
Caleb, have you read this issue?
Star Wars comics?
Yeah.
No, I only consume the movies. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, sorry. But that's fine. But this issue, basically, it was just an Obi-Wan Kenobi standalone issue, and it was in one of the comics, Luke finds a journal from Obi-Wan, and this is set after Episode 4, so in between 4 and 5, and Luke finds Obi-Wan's journal, and he reads it, and then this story takes place in what Luke reads in the journal. So it's basically just Obi-Wan looking over Luke, and some stuff like that shows he was really there the whole time. I mean, it was just a really cool issue. It shows, I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't read it, but It shows kind of why Owen Lars and Obi-Wan don't have a good relationship, even though Obi-Wan gave Lars the baby Luke. But it kind of shows that. So, yeah, really cool issue, I thought. Josh, what would you give it out of 10?
8.
8. I'd give it a 9. I would give it a 10 except for the artwork. I didn't like how Luke looked.
I liked how Luke looked. I just
didn't
really
like that kind of art. It was more like, I don't even know how I would describe it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I wasn't a fan of the art, too, either.
Yeah, so our next canon segment, Star Wars Rebels. I'm not sure what episode this is, but it is called Protector of the Concord Dawn. So this episode focuses on Sabine and Kanan as they make their way to the planet of Concord Dawn and a mission ensues. Josh, what did you think of this episode of Rebels?
Hated it.
You hated it?
Hated it.
And why'd you hate it?
Nothing happened. Nothing at all happened. There was one guy, like, when I did my review for the episode, on my review, in the comment section, one guy started listing off all the important things that happened in the episode. I'm like, I read everything, and I was just like, this isn't important. Everything you're listing off is not stuff I care about or anyone should care about. Like, it was just, it's not interesting. And then the episode was just boring. It went by so slow, and I just didn't care. Every time, I gave it a 3 out of 5, which is a good rating. Every time I think of this episode, I hate it even more, and I was way too nice in my review. This is easily, like, one of the worst episodes of Star Wars Rebels. I would give it, like, a 1 out of 5 or a 0.5.
A 0.5 out of 5? Good lord.
Yeah.
I didn't like this issue, but I didn't hate it like you did. But
Really didn't like it.
yeah, I mean, some people, I've heard mixed things. I think Josh and I and a few other people didn't like it. The majority of other people really did like it, which was interesting to me. It showed some Mandalorians, which was cool. But like Josh said in his review of the video, you can check on his channel, Grand Moff Josh. They didn't, everything that they showed was, everything that was in the episode, the cool stuff, they showed in the trailer for the episode. So it's not like, I mean, you find out that Sabine's mother was part of the group Death Watch, which was a group of Mandalorians in the Clone Wars, who Darth Maul was ultimately with for a period of time, but that's in the teaser. Like I stopped watching the promos for Rebels leading up to the next episode because I don't want to, like, the Star Wars YouTube channel posts like the first 2 minutes of the show like on their channel, and I'm like, why do you do that? It's only like a 21-minute like episode, so basically you're doing like 10% of your, or not 10% of your episode just on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't watch them either, but my friend's like, you have to see this one. This one's amazing. And it was the Sabine thing, and I was like, okay, that's awesome. I can't wait to see some more Death Watch in this episode. I was so excited, and then I watched the episode. I'm like, the only cool thing was her saying I'm part of House Vizsla, and there's nothing else. Like, that was it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really had a problem with this episode.
Yeah, I'm starting to fear that the stuff that we saw in the Star Wars Rebels mid-season trailer is all in the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, it's probably.
I'm really starting to fear to kind of worry about that. Because, I mean, even this next week, I don't care. It's about Zeb finding some of his, like, old species. I don't care.
I care about it more than I did about this one. Like,
I don't, but anyways, that's what we thought about this. I'd give it a 2 out of 5, not a 0.5 out of 5, Josh did. But going on to our last thing we're going to talk about this show, there is a theory that I saw on YouTube, and we're going to discuss this theory about The Force Awakens, and I would like to thank the stupendous Wave on YouTube for crafting this theory. When it's almost not, it's almost evidence because that's very good. So basically, he thinks that Kylo Ren was the one who left Rey on Jakku. We see when we see the Force vision Rey has, it looks like someone is about to attack her, but then Kylo Ren stabs them from the back. Could Kylo be protecting Rey from this person? Also, it shows Kylo in the forest, and then immediately shows Rey being dropped off on Jakku. Could this be a hint that Kylo Ren was really the one who dropped her off? The theory explains that Rey and Kylo were cousins, Rey being the daughter of Luke Skywalker, and we know Kylo's parents. Luke thought Kylo killed her, which is why he was so surprised to see her at the end of the film. One last piece that supports this theory is when the Deca officer informs Kylo Ren that a girl helped helped the BB unit escape Jakku, and then he says, "What girl?" and he force chokes him, which implies he knew kind of who it was. So, Caleb, do you think this is a viable explanation as to what happened to Rey?
It's an interesting theory, but I don't think that's what happened.
Really?
If Kylo Ren dropped Rey off on Jakku, then it seems like he wants to kill her at the end of the movie.
Well, I believe in this theory, and I can kind of defend it if you want.
Yeah, we can have a debate if you'd like.
I don't. Okay, first let's see what Josh thinks. Then we can.
I actually, if you're gonna have a debate, I'm with the theory. I think this theory is actually great. Like, I think it makes so much sense. Like, I've never heard this, but like after hearing it right now, it makes a lot of sense.
You're welcome.
I don't think that's what happened. I don't think that's actually what's going to happen, but I think it's a great theory.
I mean, it's interesting. I just don't think that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think this is probably the best theory I've seen come out of this movie. Let me present my case, right? So, Kylo knows who Rey is because I think Rey trained at Luke's Jedi Academy. That's how Rey has those Force powers. That's how, when Kylo Ren tapped into her mind, it awoken. She was the awakening in the film. And I think that he realized that, and Snoke basically led him to do this, that he needs to kill every one of the Jedi. But he's grown attached to Rey, his cousin, right? So he can't kill her, but he doesn't want anyone to know he can't kill her, right? So he brings... Sorry, 1 second. I think my recording stopped because my dad called me. Oh, no, I didn't, sorry. But, so he doesn't want to kill Rey, right? But he doesn't want anyone to think that he's a wuss. So he brings her to this outer rim planet, sort of like Tatooine was, that no one would ever go there for anything. There's nothing there. And he leaves her with just this random guy, right? But she still knows who he is, and she's crying that he escaped, that he left. And he doesn't tell Snoke, he doesn't tell anyone that he left this girl. So when Snoke finds out that there's a girl, Kylo is kind of like embarrassed. Sorry, I gotta send a text. Caleb, what do you think?
I think that the person Kylo's stabbing in that vision there is one of the people who was also training at this facility. I mean, I agree with that. They tell you that Kylo killed everyone who's training at this facility.
It's implied, though. Like, I think it is, but they never specifically say Kylo. They said until one of Luke's Padawans rose up and killed them all. Yeah, I mean, it's Kylo, but sorry, I shouldn't have interjected there.
And with him leaving Rey on Jakku, like, if he left her there, then how, he's searching for this. First, they're searching for the droid. And he's already on Jakku once for Lor Santeca. So
yeah,
that's just sort of confusing as to why, if he left her there, why did he go and not? You see, I can't fill in the blank there because it just doesn't make any sense. It's to him leaving her there, and he's already on Jakku for Lor Santeca to get the map. Why did he leave her there? To keep her from becoming a Jedi?
Well, okay. The way I see it, he left her there because that's, I mean, like I said, no one's going to... The only way that anyone could ever find her there is if the Force interjected, right? So I think the fact that he went to Jakku to get Lor Santeca was insanely hard for him. Right? But he wanted to find Luke so bad that he did it. But then, like, right when he goes there, he's like, look how old you've become. And then immediately he's like, give me the map to Skywalker. And then he doesn't want to be there any longer, so he just kills Santeca. He doesn't want to do this because he feels something's there.
I just
But
had deja vu.
yeah,
I think Santeca was there as a protector for Rey.
I agree. I think
I agree with that too.
because in the I feel bad I know all this stuff, but in the Force Awakens visual dictionary, here give me one sec. I'll actually read what it says about him.
I didn't like the visual dictionary as much. I don't know. I thought it was kind of boring.
I loved it. Give me 1 second.
Didn't really show me that I didn't already know.
Lord Santeca, Keeper of the Faith. Though Santeca is not Force sensitive, he has witnessed its power firsthand. During the dark times of Emperor Palpatine's rule, Santeca was a follower of the Church of the Force. This underground faith was made up of loosely affiliated worshippers of the Jedi ideals who steadily believed that one day their light would return to the galaxy. So Santeca almost guarantees, I almost guarantee Santeca helped build the new Jedi Order that Luke founded. So I think that Rey didn't know Lord Santeca, but Lord Santeca knew Rey. Sort of like the Luke Obi-Wan relationship in Episode 4. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yes.
So I don't know. I just love speculation about this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else before we end the show?
We got like 2 years to wait.
Oh, I know. It's gonna kill me. I kind of. I just want there to be some new information about Rogue One, so we don't have to keep talking about the Force. I mean, I want to talk about the Force Awakens, but almost everything that could be speculated, we've speculated on this show about. There's not much else to say. So, yeah, Disney, if you're listening to this, please drop a Rogue One teaser or just something, because I mean, it's still like it's 11 months away. But if you looked at when the Force Awakens teaser came out, it came out like 13 months in advance. So I think they're gonna. I don't know what they're gonna wait. Rumor is they're gonna wait till Civil War comes out, but I can't wait that long to see this, to see a trailer for this. Maybe with Batman vs Superman, even though that's not a Disney film. Zootopia, maybe, I don't know, but they don't even really attach these things to movies anymore. So
I think Civil War.
yeah. Even Rebels could, if you say you're gonna drop the Rogue One tease, because that's a good platform to drop it, just because the time frames are very similar. That would be the most highly rated Rebels episode of all time.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Disney, please drop something about Rogue One, even like a new cast picture, because I'm bored. I need more Star Wars crack for me. But I think that's about it. We had a very heavy news segment of this show. So I'd like to thank Caleb for coming on. And where can people find you on social media, Caleb?
I'm on Twitter at CalebH92.
And don't you have your own podcast?
I do. It's called Cut To Podcast. We're currently in development for the reboot where we will be on doing live video. Well, it won't be a live show, but it'll be video, a video format on YouTube. We're looking to launch that in March sometime.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so we'll definitely give that a check when it comes out. And then, Josh, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Joshua7520 and on YouTube at Grandma's Josh.
And you are obviously listening to my channel because it's where the video is on. So subscribe to me. I only have 48 subscribers, which I want more. But I'm grateful I have 48. But you can find me on Twitter at the Trayinator. Check out a lot of my videos on here. I have an explanation video as to why R2 woke up in The Force Awakens that most people don't understand. So share that if you want. We just started a new podcast called the Hero Talk podcast. So that episode dropped Wednesday, so check that out. First episode, a lot of problems. We need to work out the kinks in it, but should be better. Second episode. Any feedback, please feel free to comment, negative or positive. But I think that'll end it, so may the Force be with you always.